All right, as we see large-scale protests in Bihar over the Agnipath scheme, we are seeing a political showdown and reaction from the opposition on Agnipath. Congress's Mallikarjun Kharge says, and I quote, "Tour of duty is yet another bizarre experiment which has been forced upon unemployed youth to protest across the country, but the BJP government remains unconcerned by their plight and desperation. Youth and the opposition will ensure the Modi government does a U-turn on this scheme as well." Mallikarjun Kharge almost indicating that they're going to put pressure on the government to take a U-turn on this Agnipath scheme, as this it does not favor the youth of India. The tour of duty is yet another bizarre experiment which has forced unemployed youth to protest across the country. These are words of Mallikarjun Kharge, but he says the BJP government remains unconcerned of their plight and desperation. Youth and the opposition together will ensure the Modi government does a U-turn on this scheme as well. Supriya Bhardwaj tracking that story. Supriya, what did the Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge say? We know that he said that he's condemned the Agnipath scheme, and he's also cautioned that he's going to ensure the youth and the Congress collectively will make sure the BJP takes a U-turn on this too. What does he mean?
Well, Navila, Congress party is up in arms, and they are saying that the scheme which has come out has to be taken back by the government. We are already witnessing the protests across the country. It was Rahul Gandhi yesterday who fired the first salvo on the scheme, and I quote him when he tweeted, "When India faces threats on two fronts, the uncalled for Agnipath scheme reduces the operational effectiveness of our armed forces. BJP government must stop compromising the dignity, tradition, valor and discipline of our forces." And today, leader of the opposition, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, has put out the tweet in which he says that the Congress party, along with other opposition parties and youth of the country, will go all out and ensure that a U-turn is taken by the government, which means that the opposition is gearing up for a protest, as well as they will be raising this matter in the upcoming parliament session also, is what our sources are telling us. They are saying that this is a bizarre scheme. This is what Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge has mentioned in his tweet, and opposition certainly is up in arms, and especially Congress party. They are saying that how can this scheme be brought when there is threat from two fronts, that is, one is from the Pakistan side and another being from the China side. This is what the Rahul Gandhi's tweet was mentioning. Certainly, yes, another showdown on an issue is expected as far as the government and opposition is concerned.
Right, Supriya, at this point, we see large-scale protests that have occurred in Bihar. Very scary to see that train bogies were burnt down. In different districts of Bihar, you have aspirants who are waiting to apply for these army exams. 2 years of COVID lull, no recruitments happened. And right after it opens up, the government decides to roll out the Agnipath scheme, where they're going to be hiring or recruiting youth between age group of 17 to 21 for a contract period of 4 years. Now, many of these aspirants who are protesting in Bihar believe that their chances for a long-term career in the army will be scuttled and they will be ignored, while now the government has an option to carry out recruitment for just a period of 4 years and cut expenditure, no pension to be paid. So it's easy for the government, therefore they will go with a larger, they will prioritize this 4-year contract much more than a long-term career period in the army. So the protest is quite violent, what we see in Bihar. Now with the Congress jumping in on this, saying that we will make sure the government takes a U-turn. What does he indicate? Is this going to be the priority for the Congress to protest on after Rahul Gandhi's ED summon ends?
Well, Navila, Congress party has already been raising this issue time and again, and Rahul Gandhi already has protested on the issue of unemployment, as well as that of as to why this job creation is not happening in the country despite growth going up. We already know one thing is for sure, that Congress party is saying that they will be going all out, and the way they had protested on the 3 farm laws issue, they will be protesting on this very issue also, this very bill. They will be going out and asking as to why the scheme was brought into the first place. The issue of unemployment is really big. It's huge. We have seen in the past also as to how there has been the people coming out giving exams for various government jobs also, and now this being the latest one. Congress party has been maintaining. Yesterday also they were asking as to where are the 2 crore jobs per year promise that was made by the Modi government. And now this scheme coming in, the Congress is once again going to up the ante against the government as far as the issue of unemployment is concerned. And also in this very particular scheme, it is the issue of the national security also. This is what Rahul Gandhi's tweet was mentioning, that there are two particular borders, two particular fronts, one India border with that of Pakistan, another India's border with China, where we face serious threats. And in that frame of mind, that frame of schemes, this very scheme which is brought in, according to the opposition, will lower down the effectiveness, will actually have a huge impact on the Indian army. And that's why the opposition, in particularly Congress, is saying that this scheme needs to be taken back. And already we are witnessing these very stormy scenes as well as the violent protests which are taking place in the state of Bihar.
So is this going to be the next focus? That remains to be seen. Supriya, thank you very much for those details.